Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to some more Let's Play the Void. In the last cycle, we met two new sisters, Emma and Ellie, and filled the first of their hearts. We met more brothers. Pitt let us know that he does not trust us. He voted against us and said that we should, against our existing here, and that we are trying to fool the brothers into thinking we are one of them. He had voted to destroy us and said that they should do that as soon as possible. So that's the second brother we've met, who doesn't like us whatsoever. We met Patriarch, I think was his name, who does trust us and wants to help us exist in the void, and asked us to just perform the task the brothers will give us, and that eventually they'll all see that we are indeed one of them. We met Caterpillar, who is our mentor, and told us that the brothers do not hear Color's voice. They don't know how to serve Color best, but they've seen how the use of Color destroys the world. And thus they believe that by spending very little of it, that will help this world continue to exist for the longest amount of time possible. Warden showed up, another brother, who would let us know that there was no way we could have successfully passed Mantid's test. It was a trick. And if we had not spent color to extract the color to expose and extract color from the mines, Mantid likely would have killed us. But by spending that color, we've shown that we know more than we are letting on, and that we are, well, maybe not what we say we are, or more than what we say we are. Warden gave us a task. Destroy the pangolin, the massive creature we've seen in the tree boughs in the pangolin reservation. He's given us, I think, 6 cycles to do this. We have 5 left, and that will be one of the things we will be attempting to do today. We will head over there and see what we can do to deal with that creature. We've picked up 2 new hearts in the last episode, at least 2 new hearts as well. One within Emma's chambers itself, and another one here at the bridge, where we used the glyph to shatter some of the, or push some of the debris away from it, and then we're able to access it. Finally, at the end of the last episode, I'm pretty sure we saw color appear everywhere in the void. Every chamber that is off a sister's main chambers had color appear within it. This is good because it will distract the brothers for a little bit from trying to pillage and ransack our gardens and or reservations, claiming the color that we've grown in the gardens or in the trees or bushes established there. But it's also bad because that's a lot of color in places that we can't acquire quite yet. And we're not lucky to beat every single brother to collecting every single sapling or draining every single firefly of its color. And anyway, that's good for a summary. Holy crap, that was an amazing summary. I'm going to quickly cut the recording. Okay, oh my god, I'm so glad I broke that part off. This is my 3rd attempt now to continue with that. Guys, so I know no one cares, but really quick. Oh man, it takes me so many attempts to sound intelligent when recording the summary of the previous cycle, or even talking at all, and at any point during a video, apparently. Right, so really quick, as quick as I can, I had to replay the beginning portions of it because I've attempted to explain
the color of your power and fame.
A few more gameplay things here, and I'm messing it up. So, let's try this again. We have a new creature here that we've not seen before. This little thing, which I'm going to call a moldal, a turtle mole creature, works a bit like the fireflies do. If we can actually touch it, we'll get color from it, as if it was a firefly. And like fireflies, they are distracted by color. We need to leave a drop someplace around for it. But they don't move like between, well, they move between points, just like fireflies do, but they're faster, as you can see. And if we get too close to them, they'll just burrow into the ground. And when we move away, they will then continue their normal movement. So you can't scare them to go someplace else. You can only scare them to go wherever it was they were going to go to anyway, or rather, delay where they were going to go to anyway. We only have one of them here, it looks like today. Hello, little thing. I feel so bad for claiming the color in here, but as Nimbus said an age ago, take without pity. Take all you can get. And that includes from this thing. Because if we don't take it, and a brother shows up here, it will take it. So, getting this, however, I guess we'll talk more about this. The game, dropping color here in Bridge is tricky. Color drops don't stay where you drop them. They will move around. So we need to drop color in a place where it will stay there. Because until the drop stays, until it's finally in a position where it won't move again. Oh my goodness, I'm hitting the wrong button. It will roll. There we go. Oh, I feel so bad about this. But we need the color. If I had dropped this color, let's say, I'll show you. If I drop this color like here. It will, as you can see, roll. Fireflies and these modals will ignore the color until it stops moving. Now you might have realized that I'm trying to spend as little color as possible when drawing one of these droplets. I'm going to say something that I think is correct, but I'm not sure. I do not think the amount of color that you spend to create a drop of color, as we just did, matters, in so much that we could drop 50 color or 2 color, and I think the drop of color has the same attraction to a creature that would be drawn to it, the same distance at which the creatures will see that color, and it will last for, I believe, the same amount of time. I think all of that is correct. So you want to create those drops with as little color as you possibly can. And now, since we're here, we're going to spend some crimson on growing a tree. It's tempting to make an azure tree here, but we discussed, I think, in the last episode, or the episode before that, realm damage. And so Ima likes azure. By growing azure color here, this hurts her realm even more than other colors do. These trees take quite a bit of color to fill them, and so while I might not care about the color I am growing trees on in Fog, or in any reservation, given the smaller amounts of color required to bring those trees to life, or bushes to life, here, because this takes 60 color, that's quite a bit of color. Or rather, it would take about, probably close to 80 color if we didn't have violet in us. And so, I'm going to be growing trees here that generally Ima does not like.
Drop by drop. That's how life slips away.
Which is amber and violet colors, or colors that she is indifferent to. The emerald, though, was an exception to that rule, but I really wanted more emerald since I want to fill Uta's second heart today, if we can, and potentially visit Ina, and maybe even fill her first heart. We've learned that we need about 130-ish color to fill a sister's first heart if we have 100% trust in us. Okay, we're looking around to see if there's any other saplings here. I don't think there are. And a heads up as well, just a really quick thank you to everyone leaving me comments and talking to me about what they think is going on with the game. On that same notes, I'm pretty positive some of you have beaten the game or seen the ending of the game and are being a bit cryptic about a few things. So thank you for that too, since I don't want the story at least spoiled. I do like seeing your guys' thoughts about what might or might not have happened or what's going on here. I would love to talk with you guys directly about that and just read your comments directly. But I'm a little worried that if I start doing that, I will feel compelled to keep doing that. And that will also mean these videos will be about 3 or 4 hours long, depending upon the comments I get. So, at the end of an episode, I might read a few statements, or rather speak to some of what you guys have said directly. But I'm going to wait till the end of these videos to do that as well. This way, if you don't care about me just reading and responding to comments that I get, which I'll do on occasion, most of this video won't contain that bit, and you won't have to worry about skipping it. But I am very interested in talking to you guys. And I'll probably do that mostly by comments directly back to you, as opposed to talking to you in the game, but I still love talking with you guys in-game as well. So this is a really roundabout way, Tim's blabbering way he speaks, to say that I really would love to dedicate hours of time here to just reading and talking with you guys about this amazing game and what's ongoing and some of the stuff the brothers are alluding to and stuff like that. But I know that will adds quite a bit of size to the file when I'm done if I was to do that in this game. And not everyone will care very much about listening to all of it. And if I do begin doing so, I'll feel like I should do it every single episode. And I don't think that's something I would want to do for fear of these becoming too long-winded. But I will still talk with you guys occasionally about some of the things you guys have said. And I'll still occasionally, like at the end of this video, I'll probably spend a little bit of time when we're collecting or growing trees, or at the very end chamber we arrive at. I'll walk around in there, I'll warn you guys that there's no more like gathering color or fighting or something of the sort, and then I'll just read maybe a few statements you guys have made and respond to them. Okay, so what are we doing? So I need to have, and this is quite a literal pun here, I need to have a better picture of what colors available where than what I currently do from this particular screen. So I'm going to go ahead and quick save, and then go and look and see how much color is located in these various places, so that I know where I'm going to be going next to collect it. There's a little bit of silver at the wall. We haven't been to the wall yet, so there might be a heart there. At least I don't think we've been at the wall. There might be a heart there. So maybe we should go there and grab that silver. Well, before we do that, let's watch what this brother's doing. Where are you also going? Actually, we should also look at this. What's here? Oh, there's a little bit of everything here at the cave, so we'll definitely want to go there. There's a little bit of amber located at Bastion. This brother's heading south to Fireflies. I can see there's a decent amount of crimson in Fog. And Fireflies has a little bit of crimson and a tiny bit of violet. Okay, so we reload now that I have a good feeling for where we're going next. And I think we should probably beat whatever brother that is down to Fireflies next. So let's do that. And on that note, since I want to beat him, we definitely need to use color to speed us down there. So we have 75 azure, I believe, in my heart currently. Oh! Wow, we do. I was almost going to convert all of this color, and I don't want to do that at the moment. Something that Lost Fremen had pointed out, and something I was trying to point out before, is how tempting it is to fill all your hearts with color and convert as much as you can and benefit from all these buffs at all times. But that could leave you drained with your lympha, and then also not have color when you need it in order to do certain things, like making sure you have silver to reduce the realm damage as you draw color in it. So on that note, I think we will convert more. We'll convert a little more violet, since we might want to grow another violet tree in Bridge at the end of the day. But you know what? We can do that later. We'll let all of this emerald convert, since that should give us enough to hopefully combine with some silver to fill Uta's second heart. And we're gonna be fighting the pangolin. Let's start stockpiling crimson so we do more damage to it when we arrive there today. Okay, next, because we're converting quite a bit of azure, and we have quite a bit of it to still collect, we're going to be spending azure to move us around and gold. So let's spend some azure to speed us down to Ava's realm. A little bit of amber there. Okay. Next, we'll spend some gold to rush us down to Fireflies next. And on the way, we will keep our donor heart filled with azure. And it looks like Whaler's moving out, so we'll have to pay attention if he's going to caves, because if he is, we want that color first. Okay, so I think we left a little bit of color here, actually. I think we left a tiny bit in one of the bushes in order to tempt a brother here, specifically to keep him out of fog, which also has color in it, and it looks like that's working. So we'll, if that was the case, I don't remember which bush it was, we'll leave some of that color there. Actually, we just picked up even more violet, so I think we will start converting. Oops, a little more violet. Why don't we also move all this emerald? Oh wow, which was no emerald, into one of these hearts. We actually will probably want... Oh, we can't hold all that. That will give us a full amount of emerald. We're going to want some when we fight the pangolin. Go to even more crimson. 4 violet in that bush. We'll let it keep it. But I can't... I don't think I mentioned it, but it's been a week since I last played the game as well, guys. I know it probably won't feel that way to you, because I'm uploading these like every other day, or I'm trying to. There's a firefly here. Okay, it's going upstairs. So, so I don't remember where things have been, what color I left where either. Oh, Lost Fremen, you mentioned maybe I should drop a little bit of color in a very specific place here, I think in Fireflies. So we'll try to do that if we can. Okay, speaking of Fireflies.
You will die because of this.
Once again, that's the brothers speaking to us now. Even more crimson. Was it here? I think it was right here you were talking about. Lost Fremen. So for spoilery stuff, I don't like any story stuff being told, because I like thinking about what might be happening and what the brothers or the other the sisters might be alluding to, since I've never seen any plot twist for this game when I was playing it earlier to Cycle 14, but I am curious as to what will happen in the future, but I don't want any of that spoiled. But for gameplay stuff, I don't mind if you guys tell me, like, Tim, so at this point in the game as well, I think we're at the point where I think I've explained all the gameplay mechanics I can think of that I remember. So, as far as I'm aware, I haven't forgotten anything, and there's nothing else to talk about, with the possible exception of the pangolin battle, which we'll talk about when we get there today. But if I've missed something, like if I'm obviously walking past something, I don't mind being told that, Tim, you're making a mistake. You should totally do this thing here. And so maybe there's something here. Well, if nothing else, I don't mind trying this. Let's see what's... I was unaware of, like, this is a darker area. Doesn't look like there's anything here. Let's see. Okay, I don't see anything that happened here, Lost Fremen. So we brightened the area up a bit, unless this was the wrong spot. Let's see. Is there any other dark... So Lost Fremen mentioned that there's a little dark area under the last exit portal. Unless it's not this one. Okay, let's check one other spot for you, Lost Fremen. Maybe you're actually asking me, hey, could you check this? Maybe there's something there. So let's check the other spot. We have enough color that we can spend a little bit on a drop here or there. So the other exit portal is here. There's also the one at the very, very bottom. I see no dark area here, though. Unless it wasn't fireflies at all, and it was pharynx instead. Then I'm getting your statement wrong, Lost Fremen. But I don't see anything here. Let's try this spot. Okay, yeah, I don't see anything. So I guess I think we've fully searched this place. Let's go ahead and leave. And there's Crimson and Fog, so let's rush there next. But we don't have to speed there as quickly. We're going to want to watch Whaler. And see where it is he's going. Actually, there is a gameplay mechanic thing I should probably tell you guys about. When we hover over Whaler, you will notice that he has a life bar displayed on his face, which looks like a red slash, as if we were filling a sister's heart with color. That number shows how much life, or that bar. Well, there's a lot of crimson here. Maybe we can actually... We can probably start slotting some more of it.
The enemy will fall before your fury. No regrets.
Their life bar their life bar represents the amount of damage, the amount of life still left within a sister's realm. I'm gonna leave
your power and fame.
a little color here for a brother.
Guiding light.
The more injured that a brother is, the less realm... Well, their life represents some of the realm's life, but the opposite is not true. Brothers take damage when they walk into a trap. Destruction 42K had mentioned that they take about third of their life or something like that. I think they do suffer damage. I don't know how much it is, though. And then they run, as we've seen, after taking that damage. So the amount of life they possess might not accurately reflect how much life is remaining in the realm that they are a part of. But it's close, assuming that they haven't taken damage from a trap. So you can get a feel for how much life is remaining in a realm, and how dangerous it is to explore the chambers therein, by looking at how much life a brother has remaining. Okay, next. We're doing this in a bit of a roundabout way, but I'm pretty sure that Whaler's gonna go to caves. So we want to beat him there. I don't want all that color we grew being claimed by him.
So that's what he's like. Agreed, quite extraordinary. But I believe him, brothers. He's just like us. Greetings, young one. Welcome to heaven. You'll soon stand side by side with us as an equal, so don't feel too offended. I know that you, like us, ascended here from the abyss of the nightmare. As our apprentice, I now ask you to prove your righteousness with actions. Act with dignity and honesty, so that none of your detractors can blame you. They'll fall silent, I give you my word. Then there will be a feast, and you will be told our revelations. For now, obey your mentors and learn. Your only task is to finish your apprenticeship. So let us say goodbye for now.
I thought we had spoken to Patriarch yesterday. Okay, that's interesting. So I just have a good memory what Patriarch had said. And or how he voted for us. Because I thought he's got a great voice, and I was very happy to see a brother who liked us speak up for us. Okay, we're still going to keep using Azure to move around. And so we're going to keep claiming, we're going to keep it up at 75 today. Maybe we leave a little color here. So one of the... Oh, there's a firefly here. Here you go. Crimson. Most of the fireflies today looks like they have crimson in them. We're actually getting now enough crimson that we can keep converting it. This will be really handy to have if we do fill Uta's second heart, since it will let us go to Ina's realm and fill one of her first hearts. Ina wants Azure and Crimson, if I recall correctly. Oh, wow. A ton of silver. Then the good news is we'll keep converting silver. That will guarantee we'll fill one of Uta's hearts. We'll leave just a tad for the brother to delay him a little bit. Even more emerald. Okay, that's good. I mean, all this is good. I'm surprised I had so much here. So anyway, as you've seen, brothers will go to where there's color. And so here, there's color I'm leaving here to tempt a brother into this area and delay him. And maybe this could tempt a brother from far away to come over here to grab this little bit of color. I won't be too upset if I don't come back here and claim the color that would be growing here tomorrow in the next cycle. So I might not come back to caves. It feels like we've been here 3 or 4 times now, so there's not going to be as much color here in the future. And thus, it's not as important for me to claim it from the brothers. Remember that we're also managing cycles seconds in addition to color on where it's stored in us, our lympha, nerve, or hearts. Coming over here did take us some cycles, so that's less cycles we have to go to the other places now. But let's go to those other places. So, I think we should go to Pangolin next. So let's do that. Let's at least go to Uta's.
I can see you. I saw you through the window. You're so strange.
That was Ole, the girl on the swing that we saw, who, nameless, mentioned it was our Ola. And Ava said, don't go to Ola. She's better than Ola. I love Ava. she's best sister. But that's an interesting statement that she made right there. Because I find the sisters strange as well. And I suppose compared to the other brothers, if this is indeed what we look like, we are less horrifying than they are, I would hope. Ola wants gold and violet colors, but to reach her will still require us filling Ima's second heart, or how do I say her name? Big slimy blob, help me with this. Ire. We'll need to fill 2 of Ire's hearts and or 2 of Ima's hearts, since we've already filled 1 of Ima's. And since we have so much azure, and it sounds like we might, or it looks like we might have a bunch of emerald to give, we'll probably fill Ima's second first. Especially as I am intending to be over near Bridge at the beginning of the next cycle, so maybe we'll even be able to meet Ola next cycle, if we have enough color to fill Ima's second heart at the end of this one. But I'm getting way ahead of myself. We have over half of the seconds left in this current cycle. Looks like there's some gold over in Pangolin today. Let's go over there and visit it. Actually, do we want to give color? We'll give color to Uta later. Let's first get to Pangolin, and we'll see what we can do about it. And here, I need to make a quick save before we head on in. It's hungry today, and it reached out and attacked one of the hoppers. It's now feeding on it, and will devour it. It's desperate for color. You might have seen, very briefly, that the upper right-hand corner there looked a little different than it does at the moment. We'll talk about that as we run around and try to fight this thing. First off, we'll need some silver in us, as if we're going to be fighting it, that means we're spending color. Spending color will damage Uta's realm. We'll want to move around quickly to avoid the hoppers. We're going to want some emerald in us, so this way we take less damage if we're attacked. We'll probably let's put a little more violet in us to keep our life up. And then we want crimson so that we deal more damage. Whenever we're fighting, the most important colors will be emerald, silver, and crimson, generally. Azure is also extremely helpful to move around. Oh, that's how the color is stored here today. All right, let's hit it.
you doing? It's a pangolin. You can't break his shell no matter how much color you put into the blow. He's only vulnerable from the inside, and don't stand under him. These predators are like black holes. Everything dissolves inside them, even color.
A hint. We can't harm the pangolin unless we're inside of it. Well, we can try that. Now, okay, this time I won't be cryptic. We can't hurt this thing, or it's going to require an incredible amount of color. You can see its life.
The warden thought up a devious trick. He realized who you are, but tried to turn you into a lifeless container, like the rest of them. The pangolin kills all, even me. He should have stopped your hearts too. But in you, the scythe met a stone, and it turned out he was no match. You're the one I need. You didn't pass their trial, but you passed mine. I will help you now, because I need you alive. You should acquire the heart containing the web glyph. It's kept somewhere in Una's domain. We should go there.
I just realized I've been calling Una Ina. Una is the one who wants Crimson and Azure, and the one we have to go to next. Now, we are hurting it. You can see over here that its life has taken a little hit. So it is possible for us to kill it with the color that we have, but it's going to take all the color that we have. And I'd like to talk a little bit more about this creature. So let's see if we'll grab another one of these things. There's also some... Good. Notice the life bar over there. Notice the colors as well. See the gold and the crimson and emerald? This is hinting that if we were to use crimson now, we would do extra damage to the creature. And now, if we were to use violet, we would do extra damage to it. That's probably why we're actually slowly whittling down the life it has. That was color talking to us directly this time and telling us precisely what to do. He did mention about how a scythe hit a stone. So, we're going to do something here to allow that to make sense. I think because we were able to grab the heart, but we weren't touched by the monster, the game is now, well, a bit in a weird state. When I had grabbed the heart from the pangolin, my first time attempting to take the heart, and almost every time thereafter, the pangolin grabbed me. It didn't do it for us on screen, viewer. We managed it without such happening. But normally, it can do so, and has to me in the past. It will feed on us, just as if we're one of these things. And I'm going to let it do that. This way it makes sense what color has said. I don't really want to do this. I don't really want to do this, viewer. I really don't. But on that same note, we are playing the medium difficulty patch, or mod. And this would probably... Oh. This is probably going to be okay.
Drop by drop. That's how life slips away.
Well, I was intending to shield myself from it. But apparently that wasn't required. Okay, we actually also have to leave unless they want one of these other creatures to hit me too. Anyway, the pangolin is, I don't know if supposed to is the proper term, but they're expecting it to have grabbed you and fed on you, just like it's doing to these things. But as long as you have around 200 or so color in you, it will not be able to destroy you. Oh, this is going to be annoying. We're already going to lose a lot of color when the pangolin attacks us, so I don't want to lose any more from a hopper. But let's watch this thing scream at us, and then we'll leave. Ah, it's so frightening.
You're wasting nerva from your heart.
Oh, sure. We're going to want to make sure that all our color is out of us when we leave to the void. Oh, you're freaking kidding me. One more attempt. Okay. There's something else about this particular area. The number of hoppers in it, it goes back to the full number of hoppers. And notice that this thing's life is now back up to full. All right, here we go. Oh, maybe it's not hungry anymore? Oh, we would need a lot more color than that. Okay, cool. And that's what it looks like to be grabbed by the pangolin. We lost just under 100 color. The color it drains from us is randomized, and it can draw, I believe, from all your hearts. Like, well, actually, we saw it take explicit colors. Never mind. So I was incorrect with what I was about to say. So I thought originally when you lose color, the color can be taken from multiple hearts, but you still docked a certain number of it. But we saw that we were docked. I think we lost some crimson, some azure as well, and other colors too. And now I'll tell you what the plan was originally to come here. I didn't think color spoke to us until we actually were grabbed by the pangolin either. I thought we had to have that happen in order for the pangolin to tell us what to do. For the color to tell us what to do next. That's interesting that it doesn't work that way. But because now this makes more sense for us from we know what to do perspective, I'm going to go ahead. That's why I wanted this thing to grab us anyway. So my intention was to have it grab us. Uta was going to say that we couldn't hurt it from the inside. We were going to try. I was going to let it grab me, but then you can't actually do anything. But by the way, when the pangolin has you grabbed, you can't shield yourself. Then it's too late. So we would have had to put maybe like 100 color in us to have the shield last long. We would have had to cast probably the shell glyph with about 100 color to make it last maybe long enough to avoid being fed upon by the pangolin. When we were first here, it was extremely dangerous to try to grab that heart, since we didn't have anywhere near the color we have now that we could afford to lose to it feeding on us. But here we can, and since we're using the medium difficulty patch, which adjusts down a bunch of different parameters, we can get away with also letting it eat us from a thematic perspective. Okay, now, one more thing really quick, as I was quickly mentioning, these hoppers will respawn whenever we leave and re-enter this area. The hoppers are the key to how we will defeat this creature. We need the web glyph, though, as Color told us. Let's go ahead and... well, let's go ahead and leave a little color here. No. If I'm gonna grow a tree, I should have... we'll be okay. Okay, let's leave. I like the music to the pangolin area in particular. Okay, so we need to go to Una. I keep calling her Ina. God, I'm so dumb. And get access to the web glyphs somewhere in her realm. We have spent quite a bit of Azure recently, so we have enough Crimson and Azure to fill one of her hearts. So that's good. I think we should first, though, rush to this chamber and grab whatever color is there, because it looks like the Mantid wants to do that. Oh, we actually need to fill one of Uta's second hearts first, though. Don't we? So let's do that to start. We can't even make it to Una until we do this. Okay, so... we keep converting the colors we have in us. And now we just make sure we have 100 trust. And 100 silver. I mentioned how spending the colors that a sister likes in her realm will damage the realm faster or more. It hurts the realm. I don't know the exact ratio, but I did mention it. I think I did. So this also, this occurs whenever you cast any spell. And drawing the donor glyph to give a sister the colors that she wants to feed her, to fill her hearts, is indeed going to destroy the realm faster because you're using the colors that she likes. So, thus giving the sister's color is the fastest way to drain the realm if you're not careful. Thankfully, gold, if you have 100 of it in you, I'm babbling. No one cares, Tim. Sorry, everyone. Let's do this. Oh my god. Hello, Uta. Been a while since I've seen you. We have so much emerald, so we'll start by giving her... let's give her 150.
What are you looking at, spirit? Your master ceased to live, so you had to die. It was chance that you stumbled into the void, into the body of some other poor fool dying alive. Does the one who lost you want you back? What do you think? Do you wonder if he's trying to get his soul, you, back right now? Well, don't. He doesn't care about you. Nobody cares about anything anymore, and no one knows why nobody cares.
The sisters, I think, have referred to the void as a soul, and we are one as well. Which would hint that, for some reason, by luck or chance, our void, or what we represented at one point, died, and now we are here in a different one. Maybe each void has its own sisters in it. As opposed to this being like one unifying void, where all souls tend to go. Oh, actually, maybe that's correct. Yeah, I think that's correct, Tim. You're mistaken. We represent the soul of someone who has died, and now we are here. Well, then again, they referred to this void as someone else's soul trapped and that it's dying. Maybe you're not mistaken. Maybe she should shut up and just give her more color. We need another 136 color given to her. So let's give her another 100 and see if that's enough to fill her second heart.
Leave me now. A new sister was born for you. Forget Sister Death and hurry to your Oli, or she'll be driven insane by hunger.
This was something I wanted to talk about, that I thought we discovered when we reached Ole, or Oli. Okay. So, that's very curious. Nameless mentioned that she was the last sister born. That no other sister came into existence after she did. But this sounds like either Ole did indeed was created after Nameless, maybe by us. So when we maybe saw Ola was when she was created on cycle 4. But then Uta had mentioned that no sisters were being created again. That color isn't used to ascend in that way when we had first arrived in Heathen. So something isn't quite adding up. It could also be, and this is what I think, that Ola was indeed born for us. But a different brother claimed her. Although this would also mean that we are a brother. But we didn't ascend from the nightmare. Or maybe we did. Maybe the sisters are lying about what we are, and I honestly don't know if this is the case. Uta could be lying about Ola entirely, that she isn't born for us. But I don't think she is. So something doesn't add up, or someone's not telling us something that a very important aspect of this world, or how a brother claims a sister. Oh, I thought it was Tyrant that watches over Ola. No, okay. So Pit is watching over Ola. Or Oli? She called her Oli, but I thought Nameless mentioned she was called Ola. So maybe the sisters also have issues pronouncing their own other sisters' names. In any case, Pit is the one who watches over Ola. Pit doesn't like us very much, doesn't trust us, and believes that we are lying about what we are. But if we are a brother, this would mean that they are wrong, but maybe we are a devastator in the end, which is what Caterpillar had mentioned in passing, that the devastators can hear color. They don't know why that is. And that sounded as if a devastator was a title or a term used to describe a brother that can hear color, and that none of the other existing brothers do. Or maybe we're a special type of spirit or soul or being that can hear color, can spend color like a brother. And that they've dealt with in the past. There's so much about the game that is a bit cryptic still to me, even though I got to cycle 14. So, and we're going to very, very soon reach the parts of the game that I I haven't seen. Which is going to be great, because we're going to learn a lot more about this realm, I hope, at that point. And maybe who's telling the truth and who's lying. Okay, so if I want to fill Emma's second heart, then we're going to need about the same amount of azure and emerald to do that today. So we will start converting more emerald now that we can hold that. And we'll keep converting a trickle of azure. Yeah, we might be growing another azure tree in Emma's realm. Actually, we have an empty tree in caves, so we could go back there and create another azure tree there, and grab the color there to feed Emma with on the next cycle. Okay, anyway, I'm doing way too much babbling. I apologize, everyone. So let's go ahead and I'll convert a little more. Actually, we have 50 in us already. You want azure? Oh, it's azure and crimson, right, for Una, Tim. So we have enough to barely fill Una's first heart. You won't have the azure to fill Emma's tomorrow. Oh, sorry, well, definitely not this cycle. I'm babbling again. God. Okay, let's do this and leave. Okay, everyone, I quickly checked on these two chambers, and I don't think I care to grab the color that's at least here in Heathen. There's a little bit of silver here that we probably have left behind and or might be available by these... Oh, by the mycelium creature or the like. Lost Fremond was curious if there was anything on top of the cave that the mycelium creature is in. And I guess we do have time to go there and check. And it would let us get the silver that's here. Okay, so I just changed my mind. We'll beat Manted here. Okay, it looks like the gorillas are not back yet. You know what? I never even looked up at the top of this thing before. It looks like a hat to me. Another type of like wizard's hat or something of the sort. Can we interact with you today? We can! Okay, so this is phenomenal because it lets me explain something else to you guys. When we were out in the void... Actually, should we do this first? Oh, can we grow these trees again? Oh, we can even grow some of these trees again. Well, I don't think we're going to do that. So I want to show you how important it is to pay attention to how much color is available in a chamber before you try to interact with a creature like this mycelium thing. I am going to reload so I can get back a few seconds here. Notice that there's a tiny... Well, my brothers have showed up. All right. Good God. So many of them running around now. So, when we hovered over this, there's a fraction of silver left. This, you should take this as a hint as to how much color you will get from what sprouts up from the mycelium creature. This is important to know. Because if you think you're going to get... Because the game, it sounds like when you interact with this creature, when you first have the text describing what it does, that there will be a ton of color here. But as far as I'm aware, the color that is still available in this realm is... That we hovered over that text is coming from the little mushroom creatures that will sprout when we feed this thing color. And there's only a sliver of silver here, which means that there's probably just 1 or 2 little creatures that will show up. Which means we arguably shouldn't even do this. But we haven't seen how this creature works yet, so we'll go ahead and feed it color, and we'll feed it 20.
You're losing yourself.
This beam of light here represents one of the things that sprouted when we fed it color. 12 silver. And I'm guessing that's the only one in this entire area. Yep, that's it. And here is the thing singing. So creepy. I love it. So disturbing. So you would normally think that there'd be a great deal more of them around here for you to go and collect. But that's not the way they work. That's not the way they work. The very first time I interacted with this creature, I was so disappointed when I fed it 40 color, thinking that I would constantly be getting other little sprouts showing up here, literally sprouting from the ground, and that didn't happen. And I got like 8 color. And I was like, you're kidding me, game. You made it seem like I was going to get, or I expected to get a great deal more color from the interaction. It was then that I realized the importance of paying attention to the summary of what color is available here, and what it means to see color available in a chamber. Once again, as far as I'm aware, every single thing that can give you color is displayed in that summary, with the exception of color you can get from creatures that you have to kill to get color from. Gorillas are the only creature I'm aware of that give you color when you kill them. To that end, I guess since we're being open now at this point in the game, the only creatures I'm aware of that exist in this realm, in terms of hostiles, are hoppers, eye wings, and gorillas, and the pangolin. I have not met anything else which is hostile in the game world. Maybe that will change as the game goes forward, but that's the predators that I'm familiar with. Alright, let's see if we can climb this thing. I don't know how this would be possible, Lost Fremen. This doesn't look like it's very climbable to me. Oh, but we can get up it. Yeah, we can make it up a little higher. So something else, I don't know if I've explained it in terms of gameplay mechanics here, but you can't quick save in a chamber. Only from the void. That's the only spot you're allowed to save at. Lost Fremen, thank you. Thank you. So, this isn't a heart. This isn't anything, well, it is a heart, in a way. In a very roundabout way. I think I recognize what this is. Because I've played Portal. This looks like the top of a companion cube to me. If I put a little drop of color here, will it illuminate it? No. That's pretty funny. Ha! Oh, and of course it's shattered, because of course it would be, because it's the void. That's too funny. Maybe this explains Uta's depression. She has a broken heart. Thank you. I never would have come up here to see this before. How about that? That's too funny. What did I miss then in Fireflies? So I was expecting to have like a heart materialize or something. So there was something else there that I didn't see. So I should, when we go back to Fireflies, I will use the, I'll use the torch glyph to make that area visible, so we can have a better look around in the darkness there. Now that I know that you're referring to, like, Easter eggs, that's pretty funny. I'm pretty sure that's what this is. The top half of a companion cube. I never attempted to climb this ever. I didn't think it was possible based on how the structure was, what it looks like there. That's fantastic. Okay. We still have half a cycle to go, Tim. We played for like an hour. My goodness. Alright, so let's... I'm not going to be in this area tomorrow. So I'm not going to grow color here. My intention is to rush back over to caves to grow an azure tree there. Since I want to fill a second heart from Ima. Or to Ima. We'll also want that color to fill Una's second heart at some point in the future, since Una wants, once again, crimson and azure. Okay, so I think I'm content with all the colors I have in my hearts. Let's get out of here. And visit Una for the first time. We'll use Amber to reach her. Trumpetor. Patriarch. He's moving quicker, which means I think... So he spawned here, and I think he now wants to talk to us, which is why he's moving faster. The same thing with whoever this is up here. And I think with these last brothers, I think that's all the brothers now, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I think there's a 9th somewhere down below about to hit Firefly. So I think that's all the brothers, because I think there's 9 sisters. Anyway, let's go visit Una. Hello there, everyone. Welcome to Una's Chambers. Una is a very disturbing sister, for reasons we will see soon, but her realm is quite a bit unlike the others. We see there's machinery and or clockwork here. The air is filled with fire, as she's kneeling up ahead of us before a massive furnace. Let's explore her realm before we actually talk with her. As with, I suppose I'll tell you this now, as with Ima's chambers, Una's has a heart hidden in it, so we're going to want to find it. I think it's upstairs, if I recall correctly, but it gives us an excuse to look at her chambers and talk about her for a bit. This is the first chamber where we can hear also sounds, which, and these sounds in particular, aren't of predators, but of suffering. Which makes you suspect this is some sort of, in addition to being some sort of factory, this is some sort of torture chamber. I don't actually know what happens if we were to, like, leap into the lava here, or touch this, like, red-hot forge or anvil, but I'm not going to do so on the off chance that we would suffer tremendously for it. Una herself seems like she's a fan of suffering, and that will become a little more obvious when we see her. Let's go ahead and use the torch glyph here too, shall we? We can probably spend a little bit of gold to do this. I think that's the infinity sign. Nothing hidden behind that staircase. Torch is an interesting glyph, since it also lasts until we cast it a second time. So we should have this illumination until we end it, which I don't intend on doing, because I don't know why I would spend even more color to take this effect away when I'm using it to gain it. I don't see what. Oh. Sorry, I'm distracted. Oh, this is actually Una. I'm pretty sure this is a statue of her. We'll see her. We'll see for sure when we get to meet her down below. And here's the heart I was talking about.
Bait. This glyph creates a static golem from dead roots that will attract small creatures from the farthest corners of a reservation. The glyph requires a lot of color, and the golem will not live long.
I've never seen that heart before. Interesting. I thought it was a different heart we got here. I actually thought we got web from here, but no. Okay, it's a random heart. That looks... So it's probably more efficient to run around and spend color in the form of droplets to get each of those creatures individually, with its hope or chance that you can get them at the same time, depending upon where they are, where they're patrolling, and where you drop the droplet of color from. But that would be more convenient, and if there's hostiles walking around, and you're in a safer area, that is probably the better way to go and get all of the little creatures and their color. Interesting. Alright. I think that's really all there is to see in Una's realm. So now let's say hello to her. The machinery, the giant hammers, the low technology level here, the lit lanterns, all of this reminds me of Thief. Una would make a fantastic builder. And yeah, those statues up there, those are of her. She has the same neck brace, coif, and chin guard. She's a bit disturbing when we talk with her as well, and I feel really bad for poor Una when we see what shape she's in. But let's not delay any longer.
The one who lost you is trying to draw color's attention to you, trying to fill you to support life inside you. Right now, I see. But don't get your hopes up, there'll be no return. The one who lost you expired long ago. You won't return, but you've been gifted with a miracle. On your way to death, you happen to linger here, in someone else's void. Your only chance to avoid death now is to become the soul of the sleeper. And that means learning how to handle color. Color is waiting for something. Find out for what, guest. You are responsible for us now. You are responsible for everything.
Okay, so I was correct. So we were someone else's soul who has now arrived, well, at least the way the sisters are explaining. I have my own thoughts on this, which I'll talk about starting, I think in the next cycle, or in cycle 11, is when I'll begin talking about what I think is happening here. But it sounds as if we are someone died, so they had their own void in whatever shape or form that looked like, and we've arrived here into this one, which is normally a part of someone else, and represents, I suppose, their soul. But we also represent someone else's soul instead. And I guess Color's going to try to help us get back to who lost us. But this goes against what Uta had also just told us before we arrived here. The soul that lost us doesn't care about us anymore. It's why we're dead. Or why we're here. He died. He's gone. He doesn't want us back. He can't want us back. Unless Uta was being a bit more... what's the word I'm looking for? Abstract. That's not correct. In the roundabout, in the way she was phrasing things. We are responsible for the sisters. If the brothers hadn't returned, but the brothers will now tend to the sisters' care, as long as there's enough color to feed the sisters the fragments that they would need to survive. Anyway, we can see that Una is suffering. She's kneeling on a, looks like wax, melted or under hot wax with metal fragments of some sort scattered around her, and she, of course, herself is on fire. I'm assuming this was of her own design, as opposed to being imprisoned here by Patriarch, who is the brother watching over her. Patriarch's got too nice of a voice and was too kind to us to make me think that he would do something like this to Una. But this would also hit that Ima's imprisonment was of her own design as well. Caterpillar is the watcher of her. Anyway, I'm doing a lot of babbling. Let's go ahead and select something that isn't violet, which is apparently one of the poisonous colors to her. So I guess we'll spend crimson on Una. Let's give her... oh, no. Let's give her none at the moment. I almost forgot to slot the colors I need in me before we interact with her. Thank you at home, by the way, for screaming at your screen to remind me that I need to do this. I would like to think I actually heard you. Okay, so we have 100 silver. Oops, so we'll take that out. Now we need 100 trust. Okay, sorry, Una. I apologize for bringing up the conversation briefly. She might talk to us a second time right here, though. Is she going to? She is not. Okay, so let's give her crimson. She seems to enjoy pain, is my guess.
Whose fault is it that 40 sisters are gone forever? Each of them carried the seed of a new, wonderful world. These worlds will never be seen, and it's entirely your fault. The famine started because you were absent too long. Spare at least the ones that survived. Have you seen the other sisters? Did you know what to do with color?
If she's being honest with us, then many of the other sisters were being very cryptic and not quite as honest with us. This makes it sound like we are some sort of chosen one. But the earlier statements Una made us think like it's a complete accident that we're here. So I don't know what to make of her statements. I honestly don't. Is she being honest with us? I don't think so. I think she's just blaming us for the current situation that she's finding herself and the other sisters in. Interestingly, when we gave her color, she's in pain, but it looked like at the very end there that she likes that very much. So, she's a bit of a masochist, I suppose.
Do you know how to handle color, so it doesn't go away again? Or so it can come up again and again like it used to? No. Right now, every drop that you've drawn is killing us. You fell into a trap, but you can still escape. When you finish with the pangolin, come and visit the other sisters. Ailey will arm you. Ima will reveal the secret key to your victory. And Ire will open your eyes to all the mistakes that you've made. Hurry before it's too late. You are responsible for everything.
Maybe Una has an idea of what's required of us, and that we're the only hope the sisters have at this moment of either continuing to exist or of creating some sort of new world based on her earlier statements about how 40 sisters are now gone forever. Poor Una. God. Well, you seem to like this, though, Una. I'm guessing you like this. But the heaving breaths there at the very end of that animation makes me think that, yes, she's feeling the pain she's in. But she likes it, I guess. Oh, right. We should probably check our journal a bit. But first, since we're going back out into the world, why don't we go ahead and make sure we've got the colors I want in me before we do that. So, the plan was to grow another azure tree in Ava's realm. So we have the color at the moment in us, over here in our Nerva to do that. We filled Una's second heart. It is Ellie who wants silver next. We should probably hold on to a little bit in case we need to fill hearts with it. We grew a silver tree, Tim, in Bridge, so you will still want to convert some silver. The violet can be converted. We can probably take some more gold. It is tempting to grow a gold and violet tree here at Una's. Those are the poisonous colors to her. But I don't know if I'll make it over here tomorrow before the garden is raided. The plan right now is to collect web, if we can get it, from one of her other chambers. And then get ready to fight the pangolin the next day. Next cycle.
I'm scared. Why aren't you coming?
Oh, I'm so sorry. We'll try to fill Ima's second heart and make it to you. Okay, so we've got a mine of hump. And we have a garden of montage? So let's head to the garden first and see what it's like.
I don't have much much color left.
Ola! Oh my god, please! Please. Please, you have no clue how guilty I already feel that I haven't seen you for, in this... But we're doing...
Here, search.
But we're doing...
I don't know what you're thinking. You can't pass the trials. Warden has already decided everything. But you're right. You should fight to the very end, and the pangolin must be killed as soon as possible. It consumes color. When there were only a few predators, we could close our eyes to the mischief. But a giant like this one could drain color from the entire void.
It sounds as if it will get stronger the longer it's ignored. And there's the heart we're looking for. I did see some fireflies, or wisps, so I'd like to get the wisps if we can. And it looks like Una's garden here. Well, first off, we have some sort of, what is this? Like an oil tanker here. Interesting. She does like azure. And this feels a bit like bridge to me. The layout is kind of the same, only instead of the drawbridge there, it's that boat instead. We might have missed the wisps. Let's see. The single wisp. Anyway, I was thinking about maybe growing trees here, but I think we can grow them here tomorrow. Unless I want to set a trap here. I can't guarantee I'll make it here before a brother raids it on the next cycle. Alright, let's drop down and get that heart that we saw. Oh. Oh, they're too high up. They're not. Okay. Oh, you're easy to get too. We don't even have to use any glyphs for you. I'm trying to remember the cutscene. I think this one will be acceptable to watch.
Web. This glyph creates a flying parasitic golem. When the golem locates a living being, it attaches itself to the victim and begins feeding on it. If the victim is then devoured by another creature, the web golem explodes inside the predator's stomach, doing massive internal damage. The more color used in drawing the glyph, the greater the amount of damage done.
I spoke briefly about the color ring next to the pangolin's life meter. The color used to put a web on a hopper so that it feeds on it is affected by that. So if we get lucky enough that the pangolin is feeding on a creature while the color it is more vulnerable to is visible, then it will do even more damage to the creature. Or the pangolin. Alright, so let's head over now to Bridge and just wait for the, caves. And we will go ahead and create a tree there. A crimson tree is what I wanted. No, I'm sorry, an azure tree is what I wanted. So let's try to be a little quick at this. We didn't check the other mine. What is that mine? Hump. we'll do that later. Looks like we missed a little bit of silver in that area. We could visit... What was her name? Ira today, who is up in this direction, but I'm not going to be able to fill her hearts, or her first heart. We need gold and amber, and we don't have enough amber for that, and we don't have the gold either. Well, that's a stupid way to phrase that, Tim. We can't do it, so we'll go to her later. Maybe, though, we can grab this amber before this brother gets it. Oh, he's not even going there.
He is not dead. He is not like any of us. Have you realized how small he is? Far too stunted to preserve the color he collects. He's growing nervous to give. And he's unarmed. He is not a defender. He's like a virus. He came here to sicken our heaven and feed off it. The sleeper is already plagued by disease. He has lost his desire and will. Heed my words. The young one is here to deliver the last blow. Those are my words. He brings death to the sleeper. Confine him, or throw him into the nightmare.
Not a fan of ours. Not a fan of ours. Oh, this is going to be very tricky. It is late in the cycle, and there might be a brother heading over to Bridge. Which is very worrying, and I don't see the crimson here. Oh, it's a firefly. Oh, wisp, sorry. We're gonna try for it. I want you, Amber. Alright, got it. Okay, good. Next. Whew. We keep converting azure. If you're gonna grow a tree, Tim, then you should hold on to some of this silver to help you with that. Okay. Let's get back out and head over to caves. Okay, Tyrant. Tyrant is... Oh, he is going to... Oh, that's going to be super awkward, guys, because he may be there at the start of the new cycle. So, the only thing I can do to stop him then from raiding that will be to trap it. Since we'll have to pray to be able to... He's not... We have to hope that he's on his way away from... Bridge. So I said caves. We have to hope that he's away from Bridge. Or... he's done with Bridge and moving away to start the next cycle. Or we could be right at it at the beginning of the next cycle and then immediately raid all the color that we have in there. So we're going to want to probably trap Bridge. So that's going to be about 70 color to do that. Ugh. That's a shame. But the first thing we're here to do... the thing we're here to do is to grow a tree. And as for what was his name? I can't remember the brother's name that we just met. But he's not wrong. Not as far as the brothers are concerned. we poison the realm to grow color, and then we feed off the poison that we did. We are like a disease or a virus. We get this place, we are making this place sick. Although viruses don't intend for that to happen, they would, don't really, well, a virus isn't a living thing at all. Who knows what a virus intends? But it so happens that generally, a virus doesn't want to kill its host because that means that it can't exist anymore. And it doesn't want its host to find out about it. And or if it does, it wants to have a means to exist without the host being able to do anything about it. In our case, we are killing their sleeper whenever we draw a single drop of color in it. You want even more azure here, Tim? You're growing lots of azure. Yeah, I need to fill Ima's second heart. That means we need all the azure we can get tomorrow to do that.
You're wasting your soul.
We also will want to prepare for the pangolin fight, while insomuch that we have now the web spell that is needed, but we're going to want to make sure we have enough color in our Nerva to do that fight. We're going to need to cast quite a few web spells, maybe up to like 10. And so if they're going to be about 20 color each or more, we're going to need at least about 300 color total. While we have it, we won't have anything left over after the battle if we do indeed just go there to next cycle to fight it. So we're probably going to wait till cycle maybe 12 to do so. Waiting up the next cycle, cycle 10, to collect color and convert more of it. While at the same time trying to reach Ola so she doesn't starve to death. Alright. We don't need all of our violet being converted yet. And we don't need quite as much silver. Alright, let's head on out. So here's the plan. We have 11 seconds left in this cycle. We're going to speed over to Bridge. And based upon how close Tyrant is or isn't, we might have to leap into it to set the trap. Because if he's right here by second 1, which I suspect he will be, the only way we can stop him from draining this color is to trap it. We also need to spend quite a bit of color to get there before him. Before that next cycle begins. Oh, and we're not going to beat him there.
To converse with another sister, thus stripping her soul, is taboo.
There's a question I had, which is, why are we allowed to go and visit the other sisters? Nope. We're breaking every law that the brothers have. Thankfully, though, we did, so Tyrant made it here. It is now leaving before the next cycle started, so we don't have to trap this location to prevent him from getting the color. It looks like we would have arrived here just at the same time anyway, so we would have lost all the color here in Bridge. That was really lucky, what just transpired. Since we are here now, and it's 1 second before the next cycle, I'm thinking that we grow another tree here and take advantage of the fact of when we arrived here. Drawing an azure tree in this realm would be a mistake. You can't even hold all the azure that you're going to be growing in Ava's realm, so don't do that. Ima is allergic or is poisoned to amber and violet. Well, I would love amber, but we don't have... Apparently I forgot to convert the little bit of amber we picked up from the wisps over in Bastion. So we'll start doing that at least. We could use crimson, another crimson tree, but we don't have the crimson to grow a tree here. I don't want to grow another emerald tree here. We could grow... Do we have a violet tree here? We do. We don't need another violet tree. Who would I give the violet to? No one. Erad doesn't need any. She wants azure, and we could grow. We already have a gold tree. We could grow another gold tree. We could grow another gold tree, though I would need to begin converting all this gold out of me. But that would let us fill one of Ira's hearts. She's kind of far away for a gold tree to be given to her to feed. That would probably be better to grow in Una's realm. What colors do I have here? Silver? Oh, what colors do I have here? What colors do... What? How much color in my Nerva do I possess? Oh my god, I can't speak coherently. 1 second. Okay. If we're going to grow a tree, we need to fully fill it. How much color... What colors in my Nerva contain enough color to do that? Silver, azure, violet, emerald, gold. If we use azure, we just put color in a tree in caves for azure, so we don't need that grown here. And azure is a color Ema wants, so that's even less of a reason to grow it here. We already have an emerald tree here. That's likely to give us about 60 emerald tomorrow. We don't need more of it. Gold. I guess we could use gold. Or we could use silver. But we already have a gold and a silver tree here. You know what? I think we'll still do... Well, let's do it. We'll grow another gold tree. I don't think there's any more trees up here. So let's grow a tree down below. And we'll make it a... I would have preferred to grow amber, but we can't now, right? So, maybe we grow silver? No, grow gold.
You're losing yourself.
Drop by drop. That's how life slips away.
Okay, and then we can take out some of this color. We'll let the rest of it begin to convert. Yeah, we're gonna need more color to fight the pangolin. We have at least one more cycle to wait to do it. Thankfully, Warden gave us enough time. Interesting as well that basically Color was saying that Warden just consigned us to death. He's like, if you don't kill the pangolin, we'll kill you. You have 6 days to get this done. And I guess if we kill the pangolin, then that's a great thing for this void. Although I have a hunch Warden will give us another impossible task. But everyone...
Azure. Violet.
I was about to cut the video, but we are about to be visited by a rather unique sister. You'll note that the sister is moving around in the void. She's not like the others that we've seen so far. Interesting. We also, alas, do not have gold in my hearts, not to the extent that I would want to give her color. But let's at least say hello.
What are you so happy about, naive sisters? Dreams of color? Color will never again be in abundance, and I foresee the void dying soon. Did you think it would live forever? So a new sister was born. What of it? Ola was born for our guest. But since he only brings death to the void, Ola can only help him prepare the sleeper for death. Dear guest, we waited for you so long. Go. Do what you must. Choose one of us. Collect color and tear the sleeper apart to ease his suffering.
I think her name is Echo. I'm going to call her that until the beginning of this episode, where I actually learn what her name is. Like Una, she's saying that we have a task to perform, and that we're the only ones who can effectively do this. And I think she's the most direct and honest of the sisters. I think she's also accurate in what our task is. Ola was born for us. And it sounds like she was born indeed after Nameless, which means that she came into creation just recently, after we had already been speaking with Nameless. But after we had met Uta, so Uta was maybe not aware of Ola. This would also maybe add credence to what Ola had told us when she first met us. The others told me everything. The other sisters explained the world that we're in, how it's dying and everything of the sort. But Echo here has also pointed out that the void's still going to die. It's never going to be like whatever it was in the past. And that our purpose is to bring death to the void, but by elevating, I think, one of the sisters, or ascending a sister, but in a different way than how they are ascended out of nothing. What colors do you like, Echo? Oh, you know what? Her name is Echo, or at least I have it written down as that. She wants violet and silver. I don't know how much gold we have in us at the moment, or silver. I think we have some. Echo's a bit different from the other sisters as well, in that she has no chamber. She will float around in the void. You might not be able to reach her, and I think on occasion she vanishes altogether, but then will reappear. And she moves about like a brother would move about, so we don't have to give her color right now. I'm thinking what we're going to do is just end this conversation without giving her a drop. And in the next episode, after we leave Bridge, we will give her color, and I'll try to remember that she's here, hopefully right next to us, and we can fill our hearts with gold and silver to get that task accomplished. I'm mostly worried because we're currently in Ima's realm as well, and we are spending quite a bit of color here at Bridge to grow trees, and I like to not further damage the realm by giving Echo color here, which I think is the way it would work. And she's not here. Where did she go? Okay, we'll probably see her at some later point then, floating about in the void. What colors did I have in me? We had no gold in us. Okay, yeah, I don't want to spend all my silver to fill one of her hearts, and it wouldn't be enough anyway. Okay, so we are done. Thank you guys for watching, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Take care, everyone.